Hi everyone. So today we're going to talk about your second assignment that's due today at 4 p.m. For today's assignment, what you need to do is go in and look at the magnificent weaving slides presentation that our class created. What you'll notice is at the end, I also added the woven bag criteria. And also what you're going to do today, your woven bag sketch. So go through, look at all the examples. You'll need to see them before you start your sketch. So right now what we're looking at really quickly is the woven bag criteria. You'll look at this again when you look at our our weaving slides. So just to have a basic level of grade for this project, you have to have a closure of some kind, which I'll explain in a second, a finished top, 2 or more colors. So you got sent home with 2 colors, but maybe you had some yarn at home, or maybe you went and got some, that's fine as well. 2 or more types of weave. The bag has to be at least 7 inches by 9 inches, and it has to have a linear design. Now, at the bottom, you'll see I put in a couple ideas to make it more creative and a couple ideas to make it more unique. Now, remember that unique is just taking creative and adding a little bit more, making it a little bit more unique and not so common, or pushing yourself, making it a little bit more challenging, a little bit more complex. Now here's my sketch example that I'm going to do for my project. On your sketch, you're going to need to have all of these things to get full points. Again, I'll go over each of these in a second. So just very quickly, tell me what color scheme. It doesn't have to be the color schemes that are on our slide presentation, because we also learned about monochromatic, we learned about analogous, split complementary, whichever color scheme that your colors work in, that's the one you want to label. Where are the colors going to be? The cut examples of the yarn, so I just kind of like put them on my paper and then I took a photo. What types of weave? Remember, you have to have at least 2. How big is the bag? The type of top, how you're going to close the bag, and any extras you might be using. Now, what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go through and explain my sketch in detail. If we look at my sketch, you'll notice that I have cool colors in a box. That's going to be my color scheme for my bag. On the side, I've listed the colors that I'm going to be using and where those colors are going to go. I also have the cut pieces of yarn. You can tape them to the paper or you can just put them on the paper. You'll be taking a photo of your sketch to turn in, so it's up to you. The different types of weave that I'll be using are tabby and raya. So that's kind of like that shaggy look. My bag is going to be 7 inches wide and it's going to be 6.5 inches tall. Now you can kind of see that I put 10 inches right there. And if you look very closely at my sketch, you can also see I did this dotted outline. My cardboard is actually 10 inches by 7 inches. But since I'm going to have that fold over type of closure, I'll need to weave that flap. And I'll explain this as we continue on. But so part of my space for my bag will be that flap, so it doesn't count as the bag portion. The type of top that I will be doing is coil. You can't really see it because I have my pretend flap hiding it. My closure is actually going to just be that flap. I'm not going to have a button or anything like that, but that flap will be how my bag gets closed. The extra things I've added to my sketch to make my bag more unique and what I plan to do when I start weaving my bag is one, I'm gonna have a handle. Two, the design, my linear design is very unique, is very organic. And if you can kind of see, I also did these circles. I'm not sure if I want to do polka dots in there. I was thinking about it. I took them out. I still don't know because as as with doing anything that's unique, it is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a little bit harder. You're making your project a little bit more complex. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to make it that extra. One thing I want you to notice too is that everyone's bag needs at least 1 inch of tabby at the bottom. Now, the reason why you need this tabby at the bottom is because it's going to be the bottom of your bag, the base of it. And tabby is one of the tightest weaves that you guys will learn. Now, I'm going to continue tabby on to my first unique shape, that organic shape up there. But everyone should have tabby written at the very bottom, like a small little line. So that way this blends in. I'm putting that inch of tabby and the one right above it all the same blue. I don't want it to be noticeable. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So this bag right here has an example of a folded under top that is now stitched. So they didn't want to do the coil top at the, to kind of like finish off, just like our sock monsters. We don't want to have this frayed looking edge to the top of our bag. And so what you do is you fold it inside the bag and then you do a running stitch to kind of hold it in so it gives it a nice clean top. This example is usually the most common. Most students take this top for their bag, and it's the coil. All you're doing is pretty much an overstitch. You're just making a coil. So you're going in and out, and just going over, just like a spiral, just like we did the overstitch. You're going over and through. Now this bag actually has 2 buttons to close the bag, and you guys will learn about those more as you go on and if you want that on your design. Now this type of top to be that finishing top on your bag is the Raya, so it's that shaggy look. This example right here is an example of another type of closure. You can make your bag have a drawstring. This your top for your bag has to be coiled though. Like this is how you create the drawstring. You're going to do a coiled top on the top of the bag, and then you'll run some thread through that coil and it'll become the pull of the drawstring. So you can have this as well. It's not very hard, but it is a little tricky. Now this bag is getting a little bit more creative. It has the ribbons on the front. It has the interesting linear design. It also has the heart patches. So this is something that's going very close to unique, but is also very creative. This is another good example of a unique version of the bag. Also, this is another example of how to close your bag. So they added a button and they also did this little loop pullover that attaches to the button, which is something you can do if you want or if you've been thinking about it. This is another great example of a unique bag as a cool, interesting type of colors used, a lot of neutrals with that pop of pink. It has the added stars and also just that really awesome diagonal line between the 2 colors. So this bag would be considered a neutral color scheme. It has the coil top. The closure is actually just one of those pieces of yarn loops that goes over the bag and then attaches to the button in the front. So they just sewed the button straight on the front. It has a really awesome and unique design in that middle gray area. And it has the different weaves, the different colors. Very well done. And that's it. That's all you're working on today is review the presentation that we worked on yesterday and then work on your sketch. How you're going to submit your sketch to me is you're going to take a photo. Please use your phone's camera. It's just too hard trying to hold up your paper to the Chromebook camera. The Chromebook camera is very fuzzy. I won't be able to see all of the information that I need to see to grade you and give you full credit. So take a photo with your phone, and then you'll upload that photo into the assignment and submit that. That is due today at 4 p.m. I miss you guys, and I will also be readily available during my office hours online with our video conferencing today again from 1 to 3 p.m. So just click on the link and you'll see me hanging out, drinking water, probably eating snacks. But I'll see you guys later. Bye! Bye, babies! Hey you student. Did you know that there's an extra credit assignment? I know. You could get some extra credit points. All you have to do is create a meme about 3D design class during this whole distance learning thing. You can get up to 10 extra credit points. Do it. Do it. So remember, you just got to make a really funny meme about trying to have 3D art class during distance learning. The more I laugh, the more points you get.